hey, come look at this thing.
Crazy. Well, this guy says, yeah, mine's somewhere between that. So I'm like, his is probably $1 million.
My friend Jon Buice, he's a team leader down in Coral Springs. His son, he lives in Tampa. His job is when these $2 million coaches go, his job is to go and stay for like a week and show them how it works.
Oh, what a great job.
He's like
Oh, so he gets to kind of go all around
He's been
and,
out to like Hollywood and places.
oh,
And stays in
man.
a week and shows them everything.
It's like probably like yacht salesmen probably do the same thing, like they sell these yachts. And
Back
then
when I
they
was
have
selling
to,
drugs, I did the same.
I would always at least a week to show them how.
Now I know where I saw you before.
To use all these things safely, right?
You wanna log in?
Teach them the logistics of how not
I have you on, recording.
Street corners to avoid. Oh, man, he stuck a spoon in his eye.
Oh, I put it right there, right underneath. I left it on the charger though, so.
Ugh.
And this is all plugged in and you're good to go on it. Are you going to the matrix or? Yes, that's. Yes.
So is it true that appraisers, once they see the house, they go home, they go in their basement, they open up the cabinet, the dartboard in it?
Well, when I was appraising, I would go home and start drinking heavily.
They don't open up the dartboard.
Yeah.
Hi, Angela. Hi, Angela.
She's our first clue.
Here's a new one. Totally. It's a web-based product where they have people willing to show your homes for you.
Yeah, I just got that email
Oh,
too.
thank you.
All right, John, so you are all set. I've got you up here. Do you want me, are you gonna be sharing the screen the whole time? Or do you want it on you?
Just a screen.
Okay, so I'm gonna do share screen. We're gonna do that one, because that's what you want to share, so it'll show you what you're sharing. Up here, so when someone Angela's in the room right now.
Okay.
And I'll put the chat box up just so you have it.
Where's the camera
It's right there. So I can actually get it,
at? Maybe I should.
it's faced out basically to the room to see any questions.
I was gonna use this thing.
What?
The board.
Oh, they'll be able to see you.
Okay.
Yep.
I can see this far.
It's a wide view, but
Or my ass, you need one.
so if someone comes into the room, you'll see a little pop-up there and it says like you have to admit them into the room. You just hit the admit button. It's bright and blue. Heidi will yell at you. No one's in waiting right now, but you have to just hit the admit button. It'll come a little kind of bar right here will pop up.
Oh, I
And
can
it'll
see
be
it.
bright and blue, and you just have to hit admit, and then it allows them into the room.
Okay.
So
Can you go down
otherwise,
a little bit, so don't put it on the screen. So
It
it's
won't.
kind of on the ceiling. Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
glad I attracted so many people to the class.
it won't let me. We still have 4 minutes. I find that most people are never on time.
Real estate agents, really? Are you kidding me?
So I'll come back in about 5 minutes and check on you, just in case you happen to have someone pops in the waiting room or anything.
Okay.
But I also have your chat box up here, so if someone is on the chat, they'll pop it, see how that looks? It's just a bar,
Yeah.
and then you just hit admit, and it allows them in the room. And then they'll pop up over here, so you'll be able to see who's in the room. We got another one.
All right.
Harrison's on. All right. Oh, you'll probably wanna. We can get rid of that and you can just ask them to take themselves off mute for any questions. That way you don't have to monitor the chat, you'll be able to hear them through the speaker and everything.
But they can hear me.
They can everybody hear us okay? Thumbs up? Awesome, thank you. Yep, everybody can hear you fine.
How long we got?
Okay, 3 more minutes, yeah. I would give them maybe till like 1 after or so, just to allow people to start coming through.
Exactly 1 after, not 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Yeah, that might be like, 1:24.5. I'll get out of your way. Let me know if you have any technical malfunctions or anything.
Oh, I will.
Actually, if anybody physically comes in, just have them sign in, so,
That sounds good, I did just sign it.
thank you.
Can they see the screen?
They can see the screen, they cannot see you.
Okay.
So if you want them to see you, do you know how to do that?
I don't care about seeing me.
Okay.
I just want them to be able to see this.
To be able to see the screen.
If you write on that, how does he flip back? If you-
Well, that's what I was, if you do start to write on this, for those on Zoom,
All 2 people.
oh, you got another one.
Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yep, see that little thing pops up? All right, so, sure, you're just gonna go back to here. Sure. Oops. No, no. Oh. Stop share. And now it's back on, back up, that's what they see. So they'll see you, see the whiteboard over there?
Yeah.
It'll be bigger, like it's really small for you, but it'll look like that
Okay.
to them.
And how do I get that?
And then to go to share screen, little green button here, it says share screen. Okay. There you go. And then click on, you can see you're on the MLS, so you just click that one.
Okay.
And then hit share. And you're there and back.
I think I have that. Okay.
I have faith in you. I mean, you got it.
Okay, I'm waiting a minute.
All right, so
131.
John.
What's that?
131.
Yeah. Are you a new realtor?
I'm a new realtor, new to the office, new to the profession, so newbie, very new.
Newbie. How long you been a realtor?
2 months,
All right,
very new.
that's good.
Worked in healthcare before, so.
Oh, yeah? What'd you do?
I was a speech pathologist, I still am, a speech pathologist, and I did home health, so I worked in patients' homes.
Did you work with special needs kids?
No, it was with adults,
Oh.
so stroke and Parkinson's and things like
I
that,
got a son who's 26 with autism, so he had speech therapy a lot.
so I have a special needs son who is, has an intellectual disability, and he's done some quirky things, he's on the spectrum somewhere.
Okay.
But
Mine's not going that way somewhere, I think.
yeah, is he living with you, or is he able to live independently?
This one.
Okay,
Finally started taking him half, so I get a week on, week off.
I gotcha,
I had him,
full time.
yeah, I had him for 12 years. Him and his brother, I raised him. So
Wow. Is he working? Is he able to work?
you guys have a little thing
Okay,
during the day.
yeah. Do they do vocational, like they do any training like that?
He's just not ever going to be
Or
able
not
to.
gonna do?
Yeah, like he doesn't do like bag groceries.
Yeah,
Publix or anything like that.
yeah. It's a lot. My son goes to Pinnacle Academy, which is a lot of kids on the spectrum go there. And they're all unique.
Yeah, he's cool. I mean, he has chicken nuggets, yellow rice, and pretzels on his computer. Life is
good.
golden, man. Yeah.
But my son is hot dogs and chicken nuggets.
Yeah. I wish I could get into some different things, but I gotta keep, to remind me to admit people.
Oh, yeah, there we go, sorry.
It didn't show up there, did it?
Yeah, you got it, and then.
All right, so let's get going. This is weird because I've never done this thing before. So guys, if you have a question, just let me know. So Jack, are you here for the class or are you just here?
No, here for the class, actually.
Oh, okay, good. So what I want to do is try to explain to you, I was an appraiser for 6 years and went inactive and then I just didn't renew. So what we're trying to talk about is this market as opposed to a normal market. So what I always like to talk to people about is, I even hate to put it up there, but okay, because 99.9% of your clients are gonna have been on Zillow. Some will go to Trulia, some will go to realtor.com, but most of them is Zillow. So what Zillow does is you've got what an appraiser calls your subject property, which is the home that you're gonna try to sell. And they go a mile around regardless, but they're gonna try to find something that's 10 to 20% plus or minus in square footage. I always use the example, I sold a home up in Ellington and nice home, 2-story home, not a gated community, covered bridge is the name of the community. So I pulled comparables, I thought of value, what Zillow had it over here, Oak Leaf Hammock, far superior community. So they had the value up at, I think it was like 375 or 385. So I had to explain to these people that's what had happened. So what we got to do is find the homes around you that are comparable. Thank you.
You might want to share your screen so they can see what you're drawing on them. That was, what did she say? Stop share?
Do you know how to do that?
Was that what she said, stop share at the top? And she said,
Maybe.
and then, let's see. So I think that was it. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Hopefully, guys, that's better for you. So anyway, so what we try to do is we're trying to find, especially in this market, because typically you're trained as an appraiser to go back 1 year, 1 mile away. And you're trying to find a home that's 10 to 20% plus or minus in square footage, because an appraiser is going to have at least 2 homes that are smaller, 2 homes that are the same size, and 2 homes that are larger. So 2 homes that are 10 to 20% smaller, 2 homes that are 10 to 20% larger, and then they're going to average that out. So this is normal, 1 year, 1 mile away, plus or minus 20% square footage. And then they want to whittle down on things like 1 story, that's compared to a 2-story. We like to compare both of those, pool home, non-pool home. And those are some of the basic things that an appraiser is going to do. But the big difference in this market is we're so much different from a year ago than we are right now. We're so much different from 6 months ago than we are right now. And we're even different really from 3 months ago than we are right now. And what's getting ready to happen right now? 25% in a normal market of our population is going back up north, right? So a lot of those buyers that have been here. But I call this market the perfect storm, is what I call it. Because we had 10,000 baby boomers a day retiring anyway. But now you have the people running away from the north in taxes and lockdowns also running here. And what happened last year? We went about 7 months and nobody was putting their house on the market.
Yeah.
So we had people afraid to have people walking through their house. And
Now they're all coming.
yeah.
Did it go away? The blue thing was hanging on.
Maybe they changed their mind.
Okay. I'll tell you.
Yeah. So we went 7 or 8 months with no new listings really coming on, but we were still selling at the normal rate. So we got so far behind, we went from about 3 or 4 months of inventory, which 6 months is normal, to less than probably a month of inventory right now. Actually, they said, National Association of Realtors nationwide said we're on about 1.9 months, but I think in Florida, we're probably 1 month or less. And you know, you're not gonna know, but the way you figure your inventory level is if you keep selling the same amount of homes that you're normally selling, but no new listings. How long would it take you to sell everything? So we'd be out in a month.
Judge, I'm looking at the statistics for February, the MLS.
Yeah, 1 month. Yep. So not good. I gotta
Very good.
get somebody else.
That's the same person.
I'm trying to keep up with everybody here, guys, when they're coming in. It won't let me click. There it is. Okay, good. All right, so now we know why Zillow says that they're wrong about 65% of the time. We know some areas that we're trying to look for. 1 year, 1 mile, plus or minus 20% on square footage, too smaller, too the same size, and too large. Okay. So what I wanted to do with you guys is try to figure out, give you some things to look up. So those of you that are online, I'll give you an address in a little bit. If you got your computers, I'll give you that address. You can pull it up, and then I'm going to explain the story to you. And we're going to look at several houses and how an appraiser looks at it. When I'm putting together information and I'm having a hard time figuring out values, what I'll do, and I'm trying to show that to you guys, I've got this bell curve, and I'll actually go through and list properties. So let's say the median home price is $500,000. They think their home is worth $650,000. So what I'm going to do is go in and say, okay, you've got 3 homes that have sold for $450,000. You've got 5 homes that have sold for $475,000 to $500,000. You've got 3 homes that sold for $550,000 to $575,000, and you've got 0 at $650,000. So you think your home is worth $650,000. So again, in this market,
Like you bring that to listing appointment?
I do,
Write it in there,
Yeah.
write it in that bell curve,
Yeah.
you're in there.
if they're honest with me, and will say, because when they call me, I ask them a lot of questions. What improvements have you done? Tell me about the condition of your home. How does it compare to the other homes in the neighborhood?
Right.
And while they're talking to me on the phone, I've pulled them up already on the tax records. It says you're 2,200 square feet. Is that right? It says you have a pool, 2-car garage, all these things. So what improvements have you done? So I'm trying to find that out. I'm also driving by their house to take a look. I'm going to show you a house. I had a referral on Holmes Beach last week. So I knew it was going to take me an hour and a half to get to Holmes Beach. So I prepared. I knew exactly how big the house was. Okay, if it's in 1959 condition, if it's in average condition, if it's in improved condition. I had all the variables. I got there, she's a hoarder. She had never done anything to the house and admitted to me that water floods in and out of her house when they have high tides. I'm like,
You didn't have a category for that, did you?
no. So an agent had told her $800,000 for the house. And I said, I wasn't prepared for giving you a value of your lot. I'll be happy to do the research for you. So, but she had in her head that I said, this house, in the condition it's in, it's probably 500, 550. And so she listed with the agent that said $800,000. It sold in 4 days. 4 days.
For 800.
Well, I don't know, it's pending. So somebody's gonna tear it down
Yeah,
and build a house.
wow.
Hey, the highest lot that it sold out there was 750,000. So,
That's what she got.
but anyway,
Could any of that be attributed to the paranoia and the craziness around us today? We
meaning,
gotta buy a property today.
Well, what's happening now, matter of fact, I just spoke to some people I'm working with. They were at a community, actually the new Esplanade in Lakewood Ranch.
Yep.
And some people from New York, the sales rep told them, they bought a villa, but they're building a house. They bought a villa that was already ready. They're gonna live in that until their house is ready, when we can build it, and then they're gonna turn around and sell that. So there's your paranoia question right there. They don't want to go back. You know, they're running here.
Well, the interest rates are going down a little too.
Yeah.
So,
Interest rates are creeping up, for sure. So I'll end up doing a net sheet for you. If you don't know how to do a net sheet, it's very important. We'll talk about title insurance, who pays that, even though this is not appraisal stuff, but who pays it and why, how much it is. And then, what else? I pulled the stuff for the CMA class, but there really wasn't anything in there. So what I want to do, hopefully I'm not missing anybody. If I'm
do you
not-
have those qualifying questions that you ask people? Like, do you have a list or you just know them in your head?
I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah. You just know.
Yeah, so I try to get them to give me as much information as they will. Have you done any research? And most of them are gonna treat you like you're a used car salesman.
Right.
Oh, what do you think? You're the professional.
Right,
You know, so, but I try to get them. So have you been online? Have you been looking around? Because everybody goes on Zillow, Realtor.com. What's homes in your neighborhood selling for? I always ask them, are you interviewing other agents? But as soon as I get off the phone with them, I'm gonna do two things. I have a thing called Toolkit CMA, and I print them out a brochure that's all labeled with my information on it. And I tell them before I get off the phone, I'm gonna come by your house. I'm gonna drop off some information about the current real estate market and myself. I do not wanna come in, I don't wanna talk. If you're not there, I'm gonna leave it at the front door, but I'm gonna bring that by for you. Zero other real estate agents would do that, zero, none. So they
That's
are,
not part of MLS, that's like another program, toolkit.
but it's all labeled to Keller Williams and me and all. And it's very inexpensive, it's like $200 for the year. So very inexpensive. It's toolkitcma.com. So it tells them a little bit about the market. You'll still have elderly people in this area asking you, do you advertise in a newspaper? Where's your office? And I quickly get my cell phone and say, this is my office, this is where I work. Yes, I have an office at the office, but this is where I work and this is where I get all my information from, and explain the market to them. So let's look at some property. Now you're gonna have to tell me how to share again. Where am I gonna do that?
Keep down the bottom,
They're gonna hover down there.
I think maybe that green, is it that green one? Oh, no, share screen, wait, go back there, yeah, the green mark says share screen.
Here.
Hover again, hold on, go back
That's
maybe
fine.
over Google, go over the Google one. It just popped up. Oh, there you go.
Okay, so I'm gonna get it back off that. No,
So just click on it, go back to it, click on it. There you go, gotcha.
Okay. All right, you guys that are watching online, hopefully you can hear me. We're gonna look at 7445 Chester Trail, which is in Del Webb.
So you want to spot MLS?
So you guys that are watching, go on MLS if you got your computers going, and 7445 Chester Trail. So this is a pending sale we have. So what I want to do is show you what would happen as an appraiser or as a realtor, what I would do. So if you can see the I that's right there, right over the zip code on the MLS. You're going to click on that. Okay, it's going to bring up IMAP for you. You got it?
This is a pending one?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I was looking at that. Okay, I got it, sorry.
All right.
When I
So
click under the I,
yeah, right above the zip code, click on the I, so it brings up IMAP.
mine looks like that.
You got it?
Oh, there it is, yep.
Okay, so what this will give you is the information to help you prepare to go meet with them It's gonna give you their names, who own the house. It's gonna tell you what the property appraiser believes that the house is worth, which is never even close to right. And it'll show you that they just purchased this house April of 2019 for $540,000. 500. All right. So what I'm gonna do here is go up to the right-hand side where it says comparable properties. And we're gonna click on that. So I'm gonna change this screen. So right now, this is my normal what I look for. I look for a half a mile and I look for 6 months back for inventory. But what we're gonna do is just drop that down. We're gonna go, so we're gonna go 1 mile away and we're gonna go 1 year back and take a look at things. And then you update the criteria right there.
Mine defaulted to that.
Yeah, you can set it, you can change it and save it to whatever you want it to go to. All right, so now you can see all the homes around it that are just what my criteria is, plus or minus 20% on the square footage, 1 mile away, and have sold in the last year. Let's see if my mouse will work on this computer. Oh, look at that. Okay, so now what this is giving us is an idea. It's gonna take your average square footage and multiply it, or the average price per square foot, I should say, and multiply it by the square footage of this house, which is 2,002 square feet. And that's what that 471.2 is, okay? Now we gotta figure out why they're there. So we're a mile away from the property. So now you gotta look at the comparables that it pulled up. And some of the things you're gonna find is it'll pull up Polo Run, which is an inferior community. And it's gonna pull up Country Club East, which is probably a superior community. Okay? It's golfing gated, as Del Webb is. So what I'm gonna do is anything, Del Webb is 34202, so anything that I know is 34211, I know I'm gonna get rid of that for sure. Hopefully. And I'm gonna go through these, I'm gonna take a look at everything. I'm looking for 34202s, or I'm looking for something excessively high in value. Like there's one, number 12, 730,000. So we can slide back up here. Where's number 12? There it is. It's in Country Club East. So we want to get rid of that when we're considering value, because it's going to blow us up too high in value.
It doesn't tell you the neighborhood on here, you just have to know on the map.
Yeah, you'll see on the map. If you know the,
Yeah.
I know the Country Club East is right there. So we're going to get rid of number 13 as well. Take that out of the equation, 635,000. And then we're going to look through the rest of these just to see if we see anything else that looks out of place. And I'm showing you a year back down because we're going to look and see how the prices have changed. 510 on Chester Trail. So all those look pretty good. From a year back, actually, look at that, 146, so that was probably what they paid for a lot. So we gotta get rid of that, even though that's within the community. Okay, so now it's showing a value of 478.7 using the average price per square foot. But if you look at the high on your screen right under the map, it'll show you the high price per square foot of 272.44. So if we take our square footage and we multiply that by 272.44, that's going to give us a value of 545. That was a year ago. All right, and it's not taking into consideration pool, non-pool, lakefront, all of that. This particular house has probably one of the best lakefront lots in the community. Did you go to this one, Jack? Have you ever been over there? Yeah, so, yeah, really nice. Okay, so we know a year ago, we were looking at 545. Right? So now what we're gonna do, just so you know how things have changed, we're gonna go 6 months back and see if that changes anything. And we're gonna do the same things. We're gonna get rid of number 5 that's over there in Country Club East, 730. You're gonna get rid of anything that's across State Road 70, because what you're trying to do, you're trying not to cross over major intersections to get to another community. State Road 70 would be a major intersection. You don't want to jump over into inferior or superior communities. What you're trying to do is get right as close around the house as you possibly can. Okay? So now, I think we got rid of everything in there that we needed to. Skim through here, nothing 34211. So we're all good. That lot's not in there. So now what it's showing us is 486.8 for the average and still 272.44. So we haven't gone up in value at all yet. Okay, so that's 6 months back. So now we're going to look 3 months back and see what we've got. So we're losing properties. We've still got this one over here, Country Club East. We're going to get rid of number 3. And this is going to be a perfect example of how crazy this market is. So we've got one, your high sale is now 580. And 580 is a pool home. It tells you right over here, pool. So none of the rest of these are pool homes, just that one. All right, so now the value is at 487.9. And on the value ratio, because it's going to show you the sales in there, so it's basically telling you where you are in the middle there, 534.5. Now we're up to 272.44 price per square foot.
So if you wanted just the pools where it says under criteria your pool, and that's where you would put house pool. So you could just do pool homes if you wanted to.
You can do just pool homes, you can do just waterfront homes, non-waterfront homes. That one in Holmes Beach that I told you about, I did non-waterfront because I knew it was non-waterfront. And again, I went through and looked at all kinds of comparables. Some kind of updated, really updated. I was completely prepared for that, but I wasn't completely prepared for a hoarder tear the house down.
Wow.
So
The flooded basement.
yeah, 94 years old living in a house by herself.
Oh.
My goodness. So now, something else I'm going to show you. We go back over here, and we're going to go to the tax links. It's right up at the top, and you just hover over it, and it'll drop down, and it's going to give you realist. Okay, so this is another place to look at both. And realist is a little bit more, I think, like an appraiser thinks or looks. So we're going to look at 74.45.
Oh, so IMAP's under there too. So IMAP and realist
Yeah.
under tax.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're going to look up the property. There it is. We're going to check it. And then we're going to proceed. And then it's going to ask you if you want the reports, which is right there. So you click on that. And this is going to give you a ton of information about the house. But the thing I want you to take a look at is the value ratio that they're going to give you for this property. So they're going to have a sell score indicator on there. And they're going to tell you what their confidence level is. Anything above 65% is very good. So their confidence level on this is 75%, that they think the value is going to be $591,000.
Sorry, I had to agree to the terms because I've never used this, so I just got to where it shows this map. So what did you do after that?
Okay, put the address in
I
on
did
the
that.
top,
I
yeah,
did
top
that.
right, and then,
And then what? Put that in.
search.
Okay.
Okay, now, okay, and then click on
That's
send.
fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now, and then reports.
Oh, reports, okay, that's the part I did.
Okay, so with that in mind, what I did was kind of formulated my opinion of value going off this, even though the research doesn't show me that. The research shows me we're still around the value of where they were, because the best comparable is a home on a lake with a pool. Normally 5% add for a pool. So if we think that the home value was, let's say 550, and then we add another 5%, that adds $27,000. So that would put us up at 577.5.
Okay, run those numbers again, please. Which one are we working on, the one without the pool?
The subject property.
Subject property does not have a pool.
Yeah, it's on a beautiful lake.
Right.
Tons of upgrades. If you've got it on your screen, take a look at it, which all of you that are watching are probably new. Make sure you have a great professional photographer. So there's the lake view. I mean, it's amazing views. But they upgraded a ton of stuff. So they did flooring, glass door, I mean, just a ton of stuff. The tray ceilings, upgraded the kitchen. This part of the sliding glass door is an upgrade, so it pockets back both ways. Just a very nice house, and they wanted to sell the furniture as well. Never, ever, ever, ever on a home, especially if it's going to be appraised, don't include furniture. You know, don't do that. When you're trying to get the listing, you tell people, well, what we want to do, we don't want that to cloud up your appraisal. So let's do it on a separate transaction between you and the buyer. We're going to sell your house. That way, if we have an appraisal, and then you work it out with the buyer, how much they want, because you don't want to eliminate people who don't want a furnished house. And you want to keep people in the game who are going to be snowbirds and want a furnished house. So you want both in there. But you don't want to eliminate people who don't want the furniture. Okay.
So wouldn't the subject property be 5% less valuable than the home with the pool?
If we know that home sold at 580, what we would really do is take the 580 and take 5% off.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just added 5% to the value that it showed us. So we said 577.5. So if you took 580 times 0.9%, 95%, you'd be at 551. You know, and that puts us right back at the value where we were. But once you're out there, you know, people, every single person who's ever come from the north thinks that they have to have a swimming pool.
Yeah.
They cannot fathom living in Florida without a swimming pool. So they're going to value that at more than 5%. You know, so
So the price at the top, the MLS list price, is that what you guys listed out, or that's what they're recommending?
we listed this house at $595. In 6 hours, I had 3 cash offers. And obviously it's not closed yet, but it's over asking price. And they bought the furniture too, on a separate transaction with the with the seller. So that's this market. You know, a year ago I would have said, you know, and keep in mind that they bought this in 2019. So until April of 2020, they're still a comparable sale for themselves, which you'll see that, especially on flips, you'll see that. Or somebody moves here and they're not happy and they want to sell the house. You know, it's one of those things. They're a comparable sale against themselves until they're more than a year old. So, plus an appraiser's going to look at that value as well. So that's something that's in the current market. I wanted to show you one too.
You've got these other tabs on the top of that way, up here, like yeah, comparables and things like that. Is that another,
Yeah, it'll pull up comparables for you, but you just gotta be real careful on what your criteria is in there. You gotta set it just like you do on IMAP,
okay.
and it'll start pulling up things all over
All
the
over
place.
the place.
Yeah, so you just wanna make sure of that. So what we're gonna look at now is, watch out, there's a mortgage guy in the room.
I hear what you have to say.
I just explained, we just went through the one we have, this one's in Del Webb. They paid in April of 2019, they paid $540 for it. My closest comparable sale, when I did the listing presentation, was $550 pool home on a lake. Now we've got one at $580 pool home on a lake. Our value was showing roughly $550, $555. As we look at everything, we listed at $595, and I had 3 cash offers in 6 hours.
Oh my
And it's
God.
pending over the listing price.
I wanted to share just a little bit of tidbit of how to save the deal when you get a low appraisal. That might be helpful.
That will be really helpful.
Whenever you're ready.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna look at this home that we just sold that was on the Water. So let's pull them up. Okay. So you guys that are online, this is 4507. Can they see the screen now?
They should be able
Oh, they see the screen. Okay, 4507 Nassau Road. All right, this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, waterfront home. Okay, square footage is 1,294 square feet. Once again, I pulled everything that I could possibly find for comparables on this property before I got there. Now, when I got there, I found out that the guy had been there 20 years. He started at the curb and replaced everything. I mean, paver driveway and walkway, new irrigation system, new landscaping, new lifetime roof, painted, storm windows, all new flooring, kitchens. I'll show you. Well, as a matter of fact, we didn't take pictures because it was on the market about 12 hours.
Yeah.
So, so he had done everything, added a pool, added a jacuzzi, outdoor kitchen with granite, outdoor bar with granite, 2 boat lifts on a nice canal. And Coral Shores is highly, highly desirable area, which is in Northwest Bradenton. The best comparable sale was 1,800 square feet, which is really bigger, too big to compare to this, was $515,000 that I can find. Everything else, now you have to take into consideration, there's homes that are in 1970s condition that people are buying for $340,000, which I knew this one wasn't. But there's larger homes too that you really can't go over 2,000 square feet or whatever. So I was prepared. I told them, you know, I even had a friend of mine who's a state certified appraiser look at it. He said 500 because of the square footage. So when I got there, he's like, I can't sell it for 500. I want to. And I'm like, well, keep in mind, 515 is our closest comparable. So how about if we try 525 and see what happens? I said, okay. Before I got home, he had talked to the neighbors. He said, I want to list it at 569. 515 is your highest. Okay. The next door neighbor walks over and says, my friends want to buy your house. They're up in New Jersey. Can their realtor do a virtual tour tomorrow? I'll be there. Okay. He calls me up. Tell him 599. Closest comparable is 515. Okay, tell him 599. We do a virtual tour, started at the street, walked in every room, all the way through the house, the pool area, the docks, showed them everything, answered all of their questions. Half an hour later, the realtor calls me back and says they'll offer 590.
Wow.
Okay, are they cash or are they a mortgage? They're gonna do a mortgage, but they put down $120,000. So, I'm like, okay,
That's
So-
a lot for that little house.
a lot. Your closest comparable is 515.
Yeah.
So we go through the whole process, cruising along, meet the appraiser there. And I'm pulling things everywhere that I can, a mile away,
And
I pulled some
yeah,
stuff off of
yeah.
Longboat Key
Yeah.
and, anywhere that was within a mile, that was a completely updated property, that was close in the square footage, especially pool homes. So he did his work. What did the house appraise at? 515. So he comes
What'd
in.
you do to save the deal?
I said, well, I called the realtor, actually she called me. I said, well, let me know what what the buyers would like to do. I have 3 other people that are interested in the house right now. And of course. And she's like, oh, okay, well, let me talk to them and see what they want to do. They wanted all of his patio furniture too, not included, an appraisal or anything like that, but they wanted every piece of patio furniture. So they called back in about an hour. If you'll include the patio furniture, we'll pay $570. So they're gonna pay $55,000
For patio
over
furniture.
appraised value because they wanted that house.
Appraisals are not an exact science.
Nope, absolutely. So that one sold at $570, where everything indicated it was worth $515. In my opinion, and another appraiser's opinion as well. So, yeah, it's definitely an opinion of value, and as a former appraiser, I need the appraiser every single time. If I think there's any doubt about it, I'm there. I talk to them. Hey, some people are coming from out of the area. Do you know the area? Have you been in this community before? Because there's some communities like Coral Shores, it's far superior to the ones that are across the road. Yeah, and because the ones that are across the road are actually built when they dredged out the ditches and all the crap that they pulled out of the water. That's what those homes are built on. Where Coral Shores was the land, it was farmland. So it's much more sturdy and much more desirable. And waterfront, just like the others. But so by far the highest price sale in that community per square foot, we sold at almost $463 per square foot, which new construction right now is probably $280 a square foot, somewhere around there. So nice house, waterfront, great. Okay. If we do the old IMAP thing on there. Okay, it's only gonna show you those because I got it set for a half a mile and 6 months back. So if we go 1 year back. Okay, so those are your sales. So using the average price per square foot, it shows $318. Because again, it doesn't know what he did to the house. And that's just like Zillow. Zillow doesn't know if you have hardwood floors or gold shag carpeting. It does not know that. It's just square footage a mile away from the house. This is what it's worth. That's why they're wrong. They're terrible. All right. Now you look at those, you'll see the ones, that's just a piece of land. So you got these, that's a piece of land. That's probably a piece of land. So if we eliminate all of that, it still only shows us at 402 using average price per square foot on the value ratio 557 because the ones that have sold. All right.
John, given today's market, how do you present this to the seller? Well, look, here's what the numbers tell us, okay? But we have a really good feeling that it's gonna go for more than that.
Yeah. I think you gotta base it on, I'm listing one right now. Hopefully I brought that folder with me. It's over in Northwest Bradenton, right next to the Bradenton Country Club over there. 2,100 square feet, I think it is, maybe 2,200. Really nice house, not a lot of updates to it. So, yeah, I mean, the value shows it's around 275, 285. We're gonna put it on at 325. I wanna create hopefully a bidding war. Because the thing right now with pricing, you can't price it too low. Because if you price it too low, you're gonna have 10 offers on it. And people are gonna come in and fight over it. So, which is a good thing. Because you want to bid up the price. we just, put this one, I'll show you. Gosh, darn, I keep putting my glasses down. I can't see crap without them.
I hate when that happens.
I can barely see where my glasses are without them. So, let's see here. Show you another one we got. Okay. This was on the market 12 hours. Like literally, I put it on Saturday evening about 6 o'clock. I'm in church on Easter services on Sunday, and my phone's blowing up. And the value ratio on the thing that I showed you on Realist showed the value of this one is 581 and like a 70% accuracy. So again, these people had gone through new roof, new windows, resurfaced the pool, new air conditioner, 2 new air conditioners, hardwood floors. I mean, really, really nice. But what's happening in Parrish right now? This home was built in 1987 and everything in Parrish is new right now. Now this is a gated river wilderness, is a gated golfing community. Huge lot, 3,400 square foot home. Lot is almost a half an acre. Yeah. So really super nice, but you know, again, the pictures, not of the country club, but the pictures of the home, you know, just did it. There we go.
No neighbor on one side.
Yeah, no neighbor on the one side. So just really nice. They've done all this, leaving all this, granite countertops, grill, all that stuff there. So super nice house. Sold in 12 hours, again, over list price. We asked the people if they would like, they're moving back here, they moved out to Arkansas. We asked the people, I said, some of the furniture is available on a separate transaction and the pool table as well. Realtor texts me back, they'll take it all. They take everything.
Wow.
I'm like, all of it? Yep, all of it. I'm like, all right, so we're waiting on an offer on that. So, I mean, I used to teach this class like every 3 months, so I'm a little rusty at it, but questions.
I have some deals that I've saved at, you know, at under appraised. We're seeing a lot more under appraisals.
Yeah.
And if the buyer's got good credit, there's some creative ways you can, instead of slashing the price, see if the seller is willing to pay for their upfront MI and the payment's still the same as what they want. You just explain, hey, it's not an exact science, here's a solution. Instead of costing $1,000, you know, 20, 30, 40,000, it could be like a $3,000, you know, seller credit.
Right.
And that seems to be a really quick, easy way to solve the problem.
Yeah.
To try to challenge the appraisal is difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to have 3 comps that weren't used.
Yeah. An appraiser is going to look at also pending sales in the community, and they should list some of those on an appraisal. And they should list a couple of active sales that compare as well. But what's happening right now, there's so much cash in our market, about 67% of the market is cash right now. So if you're going in and you're a financed offer and there's 7 offers on it, finance, 4 cash offers, let's work with these.
Someone did tell me that they recently took out they call it like a COVID hardship loan from their 401k. They don't ask you what it's for, but they used it as a down payment on the second home, and you have like 5 years to pay it back. So it wasn't to buy the whole home, but it was a big down payment. So I don't know if that's new information, but
That's good. No, that's good stuff.
I don't know if it's still available.
You know, contingencies in this market, we've got to sell our home up in New Jersey first. Forget it. Because what the builders are doing now, they're not even releasing lots. Most of them aren't even taking names anymore. They were taking names, but what they figured out was, you know, Bob and Sally came in here, 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 and here, put their name in on the wait list, so they quit doing that. So I know Crestwind right now has 160 names on a wait list. And something I've never heard of before, I don't know how to work with appraisals, but some of these builders now, they'll have 10 people who want a lot. And they'll say, okay, we're ready to build on it. We were gonna sell this lot for $60,000. What are you willing to give us for it? And they're going for $10,000 over what the builder was gonna sell.
Basically turning everything into an auction.
A lot of it, yeah.
Indigo said I had, if they wanted to be on
Mine's
wait
been
list,
2006 and 7. This
Yeah.
stuff was going on.
they had
You
a,
know that.
you have to put 10% down and you have to put it, have all your upgrades figured out and give person. That's how you can get on the wait list. and get your lot.
Yeah. Yeah, most of them aren't even doing it anymore. Lorraine Lakes, like they won't even take your name. You know, it's the first
Yeah.
time.
They wouldn't even talk to me when I was up there.
Yeah, well, they got nothing to sell.
No,
You know, that's it. You know, they're like, yeah, this is what it's gonna look like, but I can't sell you anything right now, which is crazy. I seriously got probably 30 people that have contacted me that want homes, and it's all the way from up to $1 million, and I've got a young lady looking 250-ish.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I did get a flyer in the mail from another realtor about comparing today to back in 2006, 2007. And it was kind of interesting because she kind of compared and said the mortgages were very easy to get, now they're very hard to get. There's a lot of cash buyers.
There was
There's
a lot of
also the-
flippers back then, too.
Yes, more regulation. And also there's not a glut of new construction, which we're left high and dry. Like back now, there's not enough, which the builders are holding back.
Yeah.
There's not the inventory problem that they had back then too, so.
Yeah, they were giving money away back then, and I was appraising back then, and I would come across a house that had sold 8 months ago, and it was under contract for $100,000 more. You know, but lenders were like, here, it's free money, you take it, you
I
don't
didn't do
have
those type of ones.
Negative damn.
The big short.
yeah, you don't even have to prove you got a job, we're gonna give you the money, so, yeah.
I live in waterfront property, and so even just for refinancing, it irritates me because they always pull comps from the wrong thing in freshwater canals versus saltwater canal. I find that they just really don't
I know
understand.
where you live.
Well, I live near there.
Oh, yeah.
I live in River Point, but the inlets, they always pull from the inlets. And those are freshwater canals, and they're like, well, they're the same age. I'm like, I know, but we're salt. And so that, I find that very frustrating, even though it's a refi, it doesn't really matter. It still hurts my pride.
I go through the locks to get out to the water through fresh
We don't have
water.
a lift, yeah, so.
Some of these appraisers, so you can have two different appraisers with a completely different opinion.
Yeah.
I had one where it had to get delayed and they're on Manatee River, sailboat water. And we had to delay it because they had to get new tax returns. By the time I get new tax returns, I do a whole nother appraisal. And that next appraiser appraises $180,000 less.
Oh, less.
Less.
Oh, jeez.
The other guy gave credit for being able to draw a big boat up to
Yeah.
your backyard, and the other guy didn't.
Yeah, that's
You
much
should.
more.
And then, you know,
That's why that house on Coal Shore sold for it did. They're not making any more of those, so you can't put a price on that.
So it's important when you're gonna price houses. Yeah, look at actives, look at your pendings especially, because that's huge right now. The solds are almost a thing of the past because the market keeps shifting. So where are we gonna go with it? You know, how far are we gonna shift? Are we gonna shift back down? Are we gonna, I mean, our prices haven't gone crazy. I mean, they haven't, they've gone up, but they haven't gone like 20% up, but they are up. So, and builders aren't gonna build right now because lumber from January 1st to now, 262% more than it was in January 1st. So they don't know in 6 months what their wood
Cost.
blocks or all that's gonna cost. So how do they value that? They can't say, okay, you know, we're selling that in 8 months, we're gonna build it.
And they don't have appliances, they're letting people borrow appliances to close on their house.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, in that sense.
Thank you very much.
Yep,
Good
if
stuff.
you ever have questions, Jack knows where I am. I'm all the way in the back. You can come back, just text me
Okay,
and say, hey, John, I got some questions, can I stop by? 941-962-7443. I'm here at least 5 days a week, sometimes 6.
Try not to be 7.
That's a good problem to have.
All right,
Thank you very much.
okay,
Thank you, John.
yes, sir, absolutely. Now I don't know how to turn this thing off, what to do, so.
Don't forget your mouse, to take your
How
mouse.
much do you know about, pocket listings anymore? With the new regulations from, NAR? If I take a listing and I've got an owner's exclusion on it, can I advertise it to anybody anywhere?
That's a Scott Knoll.
Okay.